and this video is entitled Rick Santelli Rules. It's on CNBC right now, and it shows Rick Santelli with righteous indignation about this bailout plan on the floor there in Chicago. And what it shows is basically the righteous indignation of the government taking money from responsible people and giving money to irresponsible people. And Rick talks about, do you want to pay for your neighbor adding a new bathroom and pay for his mortgage? Of course you don't. Nobody would want to do that, and no honest politician would support legislation like that. There's a previous video I have about Rick Santelli versus Steve Leisman, and basically Steve Leisman's for central planning, and a lot of people have been for central planning, and central planning always leads to economic collapse. Obviously, the United States of America is headed towards full-on central planning, and so it's obvious it's headed for a total collapse to anybody that, I guess it requires a little bit of wisdom. So it's very foolish to think that the stimulus package will work, and anybody that votes for the stimulus package, doesn't matter the party, but if you support this stimulus package or past stimulus packages, you support legalized theft, you don't understand the Constitution, and that's the sad truth, that almost all of our politicians back in Washington do not understand the Constitution. They do not understand the general welfare clause. They misinterpret, misimply, and that's why the United States, unfortunately, is headed towards inevitable economic collapse. So Rick Santelli, you rule? Rick, right on. Way to go. Way to show some righteous indignation down there. The bottom line is, it's too late to fix things unless we would have had to immediately go back to the original intent of the founders probably a decade ago, before Bush came in and racked up the trillions in debt. And now, of course, we're talking about $2 trillion a year in debt and $55 trillion in overall debt. So it's over. It's over. And you guys that trade commodities in Chicago and other places, okay, interest rate futures and all those things, this is the year to start growing your own garden. Worrying less about trading those commodities rather than actually growing and possessing those commodities, because the government is in full retreat from the Constitution and full-blown implementation of transfer payments, which is basically and essentially and is actually taking money from producers and giving it to non-producers. Transfer payments, or what I like to term in the most concise, cogent way, legalize theft. Thank you, Rick Santelli, for telling the truth. Way to go, Rick. You rule.